It is Monday, the 1st of November, which means it is time for a new reading vlog. I have started my first two books of the new month. It feels so refreshing to be in a new month. So before we go on to the books, I just want to say that. Like a nice breath of fresh air. I have updated the display bookshelf. I'm just going to tilt the camera up. Got the Shadowhunters books all the way at the top. Got Letters to the Lost up here. And Lauren Graham's Talking as Fast as I Can. And some Harry Potters you can see over here. I got all of the Cosmere going along here, which is lovely. And I'm just really, really happy with the lighter look of the display bookshelf. Anyway, because it is November, all throughout October I had the darker books, like the blacks or the dark browns or dark purples, and now it's really light. I had no reading vlog for the last week of October. Do you guys want me to do a reading vlog for the last week of the month? Let me know. I just didn't feel like it was necessary, but if you guys want me to do it, I will. Alright, I'm going to talk about Shadowhunters first because I really don't remember a lot of what I've read, to be honest. I started reading early because I finished my October TBR early, and I read 100 pages into this one. I'm there. Well, actually, that's a lie. I'm 94 pages in, but that's the beginning of the new chapter. The thing that I said in the monthly wrap about how Cassandra Clare did that thing to my Alec in the epilogue, maybe that thing will be resolved in the way that I want it to in this book. There are signs, there are whispers that might work out in my favour. New Moon by Stephanie Meyer, book number 2 in the Twilight Saga series. I am there, which is 159 pages in. I took advantage of How to Train Your Gavin's Believe-a-thon, 24-hour readathon, readathon. And also, actually, ever since the beginning of last week, I have been, you know that phrase, bar hopping? I've been reading sprint hopping. Any reading sprint chance I've had, I've just checked into all of them that I could, and I've made so many new friends, and, seen so many of the friends I already had on all these different ones, and then, people who are with me in one reading vlog that then with me in another one, and we remember each other and all this, and reading sprint, sorry, and there's just been so much fun. But anyway, as I said, today, How to Train Your Gavin is doing a 24-hour Believe-a-thon, readathon, and that has just been a lot of fun, so I'm going to go to bed soon, and then when I wake up, I'm going to go back and rejoin him. But yeah, again, with this, I am 159 pages in. I'm enjoying the book now. So the opening of this book was pretty good, but then around about chapter 2, chapter 3, we got Angsty Bella. Remember Angsty Harry from the Harry Potter series? We get Angsty Bella in this book, and I don't really enjoy Angsty Bella. We've just gotten to a part in this book where Bella is doing something reckless, and she's hearing a voice in her head, and it's gotten me really excited. So I'm very, very happy with continuing on with the Twilight series. I won't be able to read it next month. I have way too many Christmas books to read in December, but I feel like in January I'm going to read Eclipse, and I'm probably going to finish the series out in February with Breaking Dawn, or maybe in March with Midnight Sun, is that what it's called? I will try and get to that one as well, but I'm loving this. It's been 10 years since I've picked up this series, and this reread a decade later has just been such a delight. It is Wednesday, which means it is time to check in with another reading vlog. Today has been an extremely busy day for me. That's why I'm filming over here rather than over there where I normally film, but now you can get even more of the bookshelf in the camera. And my stuffed puppy, which is over there. His name is Buppy, by the way. City of Heavenly Fire, book number 6, the final book in the Shadowhunters series. I am there, which is 303 pages in. My goal was to get up to page 300 for both of the books I'm reading. I've done that, so that makes me very happy. I want to give a shout out to Zachary, but I don't remember Zachary's channel name. So I'm so sorry, Zachary. I will leave the link to Zachary's channel in the description below. Zachary, thank you so much. So Zachary has read this book, but isn't reading it currently, but I've been talking to Zachary as I'm reading along, and that's just been amazing to be able to chat to someone while I'm reading the book, because a lot of people have either read this book and didn't like it, or they just didn't want to talk about it, and that's totally fine, but Zachary really wanted to know my thoughts, and that was great. And Zachary also told me that the ending is quite gut-wrenching, so we'll see how we go. If Cassandra Clare does something to my Alec, you guys know, you'll know, because excuse me, because you saw how I was in my monthly wrap, how you don't do this stuff to my Alec. So if something happens to my Alec, we're going to have issues. But at the moment, I'm still in part 1. I think there's 2 parts to the book. And things have been good. It was a slow start to begin with, but for where we're at now, it's been good. I feel like we are headed in a good direction. We are getting to the point where the action stuff, the final climax of the series, I feel like it's about to begin, so that is really good, and I have been enjoying that. We haven't had a lot of Alec moments, which has annoyed me. It's been okay. I'm not really a character-driven or character-focused reader. I much prefer for the plot to really drive things forward, and the first half has been, I wouldn't say it's character-driven, but it's been a lot more focused on the characters themselves and the character growth, which is fine. I can appreciate that, but it's just not my kind of thing. I much prefer for the plot to drive itself forward a lot more quickly than it has been, and for more action-packed scenes. So there we go. That's kind of where things sit with this book. But thank you, Zachary. I really appreciate the discussions that we've had. You've definitely been motivating me to keep going and getting through this book, and I can't wait to see on Friday how I feel about it, because I will have gotten into part 2, and I'm sure I'll be midway through the action that's going on, so I'll update you guys then. But New Moon, meanwhile. Okay, so unlike City of Heavenly Fire, which is where people have said they've read it, they either loved it or they didn't, and as I said, been able to have that great chat with Zachary, again, thank you. With New Moon, everyone has the same opinion. So when you go into reading sprints, you talk about the book you're currently reading for the sprint, and every time I mention New Moon, everyone, like literally everyone, has been coming back to me saying, oh, I didn't like New Moon. Not one person has said, oh, I loved that book. And I get why. It is angsty Bella. We've gotten to the point where we no longer have angsty Bella, which is good. Things went down at the beginning of this book that kind of left Bella feeling rather depressed, and so that was kind of tough to read. I don't like reading angsty stuff, but Bella has just discovered a secret that Jacob had, and now she seems to be doing better now that she's in the loop and knows what's going on. And I've gotten back to enjoying this book, because I wasn't enjoying it for quite some time. There really wasn't a lot going on other than Bella showing us how depressed she was, and that was just kind of, you know, bumming me out a little bit, because if you're going to do that with, say, a hard-hitting contemporary, that's fine, but with my fantasies, I need more than just that. But we're now at the point where we're getting more, and I really appreciate that. And the world building, again, now that Bella knows Jacob's secret, we're getting so much world building. I love the world building of this series. That's one thing I can critically say that I couldn't say 10 years ago when I last read the series. It's just been phenomenal, so I'm enjoying that. I am there, which is 301 pages in. Before I leave you guys with this update, I wanted to update you guys on a book that I'm adding to my November TBR. One of my subscribers recently was commenting something along the lines of, can we fit another book onto the TBR? Yeah, why not? Well, that's what I'm doing. I was over at a reading sprint somewhere, and someone was talking about a book, and they were describing the premise of it, and it just sounded so good that not only did I want to read it, I wanted to read it right now. It will be tacked on to the end of my November TBR. And that is this book, which is called Me, My Dad, and the End of the Rainbow. It is by Benjamin Dean, and the premise of this just sounds so good. So I'm going to read the blurb on the back, and it says, are you ready for a rainbow-coloured, joy-filled adventure? My name's Archie, and I know 2 things for certain. 1, my mum and dad kind of hate each other. 2, they they're keeping a big secret from me. All Archie wants is for them to be a happy family again, but then he overhears Dad's secret and his dream is blown apart. When a colourful flyer falls out of Dad's pocket, Archie thinks he may have found the answer. Only problem, that answer might just lie at the end of the rainbow. And we even have a rainbow flag there at the back, which is so cool. That is where I am going to leave it, and I'll check in with you guys for the penultimate check-in on Friday. See you then. It is Sunday, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap up this week's reading vlog. I did not check in on Friday or Saturday. Sorry guys, just didn't really have an opportunity to do so. But we're here now, so we can wrap things up here on Sunday, and then I'll start my next week one tomorrow on Monday. Alright, just today I finished City of Heavenly Fire, book number 6 in the Shadowhunters series, which is the final book of the series, which means I have closed out the Shadowhunters series. So there you go. This book was it was up and down for me, to be honest. It took, considering it's the last book of the series, it is incredibly long. Like, it is 640 pages, basically. And it takes till the 3/4 mark for anything action-packed to happen. Plus, Cassandra Clare has added in some characters that we've never met before throughout the entire series, and I don't like that. Like, adding in these extra characters that we don't know, that to me didn't really even serve a purpose for the final book in a series, so I didn't like that. But once we got to the action-packed stuff, I really did enjoy that, and gut-wrenching moment. Yes, so do be warned for that, depending upon who your favourite character is. And I want to give a big shout out to Zachary. I will leave his link in the description below. He and his wife are both wonderful. Zachary has been helping me by discussing the book with me as I'm going along. So thank you, Zachary. I really did appreciate that. I'm going to give this book 4 stars because it did wrap up so incredibly well. And you guys, Alex's storyline wrapped up so well. And in case you're new here, hi, I read Shadowhunters. I love Alec. Anyway, 4 stars from me. I've now finished the series. I do want to read the Bane Chronicles. I'll get to it when I can. It'll be at some point next year. But for now, happy to put the series to bed, and happy that I read it. New Moon. I finished this book yesterday, and oh, you guys, so many people have told me they don't like this book, and that is totally fine. I can understand why. The first quarter of this book is angst town. Like, seriously, our protagonist is so angsty and so down on herself and her life in the first quarter of this book. Nothing like the majority of the first book. But then we get to a certain point where our main character, Bella, finds out a secret that another character, Jacob, has been keeping. Once she finds out what this secret is, the rest of the book was great for me, and I really enjoyed it. If you're wondering what team I'm on, I'm definitely Team Edward. When I first read this series 10 years ago, I was Team Edward then too, and I still am to this day, but that doesn't mean that I enjoyed this book any less. For those of you wondering, I can keep this spoiler free. Edward doesn't feature heavily at all in this book. He's away for a lot of the time, so that's where a lot of people who are Team Edward may not like the book because they're not Team Jacob, and other people don't like for other reasons. But anyway, I thought that from the second quarter onwards that this book was great, and for that I'm giving it 4 stars because I think it would have received 5 stars from me if not for the angst. So it's definitely a 4 stars from me. So now that I've finished those books, I have already picked up my next read, which is Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli. A really negative shout out to whoever decided to put stickers on a cover that don't come off because they're like literally embedded in the cover. I don't like that. I was trying to take it off and then I realized you can't. But anyway, this was exactly what I needed after these two. The major world building in this one, and the density of this one. It is a good book, but it also is rather dense at times. This is so light and fluffy, and it was just exactly what I needed. So I am currently there, which is 38 pages into this book, and I'm enjoying it so far. We're following this girl who, I say this with a lot of love, is very ditzy, but it's really what I need right now because it's very light-hearted and has a light tone to it. So she is a high schooler, she has a best friend who is gay, they're both crushing on the same guy, and they're both part of the same theatre group, and I was in theatre studies myself when I was back in high school, so I'm just loving everything about the book so far, and it was exactly what I needed, as I said, after these two. But that's where we stand for the moment. I will leave that there. I hope you guys have enjoyed your first week of October. Comment below and let me know how things have been going for you, and I will check in with you guys again next week. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it, letting you guys go peace, blessings, and so much love. These are the books I've been discussing in this week's reading vlog. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Mwah! Happy reading!